Hello everyone. A fellow player asked actually about the summary of my, or wrap up of my first ever Milsim event, and I decided to record this short video not to provide a guidance or as a guide, but more on the experience that I had in my first game, what I'm going to take with me as lessons learned for the next game, what I should do better, what I shouldn't do better, and so on and so forth. So starting with the general experience, if you want action, Milsim is not really good for you, meaning the amount of the action compared to the amount of the preparation and walking and getting in the position and everything in a whole mission is very small. As an example, our first mission in the Operation Kandahar III was a night mission which started at 10 o'clock, and I think we were back in base around 4 o'clock. So I don't know, like 7 hours, no idea. The whole mission took 7 hours long, let's put it this way. And the action, meaning being the first bullet shot to the last bullet that we received or we shot, was around 15 minutes. So there is not much of an action, but more of a walking, tactical walking, finding the route, trying to get the recon along the way and position yourself and find the right spot and cover and so on, and all in complete darkness. It was very hard, exciting, very different experience. I never had this before in my life, but it is actually not that easy, and it's very tiring also. And as I said, the amount of the action took just like 15 minutes in complete dark. We didn't see almost any opponents. I just was able to notice one single enemy, took one single shot. I didn't in the night game. I don't even know if I hit him. I think I did, but God knows. I have no idea, and as a sniper it's actually even tougher than for the AEG players, where they go basically and shoot everybody according to the idea, everybody on that direction, which we don't see. Due to this long amount of missions, the weather conditions are very important. So you need to know before going to the Milsim event if it's going to be a hot weather or a cold weather, or even worse, actually the hardest one is hot during the day, cold in the night. Because while you're walking and while you are climbing up the mountains or hills or whatever you're doing, you're getting hot. I mean, even if it's the weather was around 0 degrees Celsius in the night in our first night mission. And when we were walking, we were hot. We had a lot of layers on us, and when you're climbing the hills and so on, you get hot, so it's all good. The problem is, before the game, while you're walking back, because you are most probably much slower, and if you had to stop, basically, when you reach your the target point, or where you're going to do the mission, and you're getting your positions, and when you start waiting for the enemy or for the attack, there you start actually freezing in 0 degrees Celsius. So the weather conditions are very important, and this affects what you are going to wear, what you are going to carry with you, how you are going to, put everything on yourself, and the belts and the carrier plates and so on. So it is very important. So my advice to myself definitely is to check the weather conditions before and do the setup. Try the setup actually even at home to see if it's going to work, because in theory what you have in your mind, this jacket, and the belt does not fit, or the plate does not fit, or you have to carry a bag, which I did, and I think as a sniper, at least for me, was a wrong idea, because it is not easy to find the right time to take it out and put it in the right position. You cannot sling the rifle back and so on. So the bag helped me with a couple of things, but was not a really good idea. Most probably I will have a different setup in my next Milsim. The organization is very important. In this Operation Kandahar III, I'm not sure, maybe because of the weather, because of the last event, I have no idea, but the organization from the Airsoft Wars, what we got was not that good. We didn't know exactly when the mission starts, when it's going to end. The coordination of the information sharing was maybe better on the leader's side, so the platoon leader or the team leads got it better, but here another lesson for ourselves, we were not that engaged because we were only two snipers, so me and Fatih were only the two guys who joined another platoon, Charlie, and we are assigned to Charlie 20 team, and these guys were very nice to us, they were very welcoming, but the problem is that we were not maybe that engaged, and especially not just on the spare times, but also before the mission, waking up early, being engaged with the mission, getting the understanding of the map, the route, the idea, if we are attacking, if we will wait for an attack, if we are doing an ambush, and so on. So we were missing a lot of feedback, and on the part 3 video, if you have watched it, as you can see, we were trying to guess who is attacking where our Bravo and Alpha teams were, and we took a position according to the knowledge we had, but we saw that the Alpha and Bravo teams were already gone or dead, or we didn't have any idea, and as two snipers we were at the front line, and the coordinated attack from the Afghan rebels started, and in the first minute we were shot. So information is very important, and to get the right information, you basically need to be engaged a lot. Let's put it this way. If you're thinking about camping, Milsim is not the right idea because you get very small amount of sleep if you would like to play the game. As I explained in my previous videos, we were able to, as a Charlie team, assigned to 4 missions, and me and Fatih were only able to join the 2 of them because we were very tired, we were not able to get to sleep. We talked with our platoon leader, scientist. He went to every single mission, and he basically had like, I don't know, total of 5 hours of sleep in the whole weekend. So this is what you need to expect, and if you would like to have more action, 15 more minutes of action, 4 times or 5 times in each mission, you basically need to join the fight, join the missions. So it's not a camping area, it's not a like you drink your beers and relax and so on, which we did on the very last night, and it was so cold, so we were only able to drink 1 single beer, and we were thinking of going to the next mission in the morning, which was cancelled. So Milsim is more realistic. Again, here I have another point. This is a game, this is not a war, this is basically a game. You go there to enjoy. So in a very safe way, in a warm way, if the weather is very cold, you basically need to find a way to enjoy it. It's not easy, it's definitely not easy. Very interesting, very different compared to the daily games that we go out here in Vienna, for example, on Sundays, where there's non-stop action. Even when the lunch break takes too long, we are complaining because we are so used to the action and we are missing the action. Milsim is not the type. So you basically really have operations which takes a very long time to prepare, walk and get the positions, and the action takes much smaller. At least this is what I saw in my first ever Milsim. Maybe there are, I need to go more, which we are going to definitely go more, and most probably my experience will be different also, but in this one, this was the case. When I come back to the games, again, remember it's more walking, it's like, especially if the area is hilly and so on, it's climbing and struggling and so on. So whatever weight you are carrying is going to be hurting you so much later onwards. There are 2 things that are hurting: the boots. So you really have to have a good boots for all weather conditions, or even maybe 2 that you can wear during the day. A lighter one, but in the night, if it's very cold, winter boots or winter climbing, hiking boots from Colombia and stuff. I don't know. And the second thing is the weight that you are carrying. So the whole idea before we go to the Milsim was to take my ARP 556 with me, J&J ARP 556 with me, put it on the bag that I was carrying, which was a wrong idea. The bag was already a wrong idea, and additionally putting another weapon, which has a full metal body also, with a drum magazine. So I didn't know that the drum magazines were not allowed in the Milsims, where I saw that many people actually used it also, and there is a footage of one guy who's shooting with a drum magazine, the night vision, in the part 3 video. I didn't take it, but if I had, and if I took it with me on the first mission and put it on the bag, I have no idea if I was going to be able to come back to the base again. Honestly, the weight you're carrying, I'm not talking about the light stuff like a sandwich, like a Snickers, which I'm going to talk about the food and drinks also later, but the biggest one is like the water tanks you are carrying, like 2 liters, 2.5 liters water tank that you're carrying. Guys, weight is killing you. So I'm definitely going to have a much lighter setup next time, and I'm hoping that it's going to help me much more, because really 7 hours walk with a very high, very what do you say, very heavy weight on your back or on your belt is not helping, and you're also having the rifle on your hand, so it's not that hard. It's very hard, sorry. This comes to also a calculation of ammunition which you are also carrying. So there are, what you're normally carrying is your primary and your secondary, and for both of them, if you're carrying spare BBs with you, which are maybe in a bottle like this and so on, they are really adding a lot of ammunition. For snipers only, you really don't need that much of bullets. Next game, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to carry maybe 6-7 of my mags on my belt. I will load one speed loader for the sniper and one speed loader for my Glock, and that's going to be easy. That's going to be most probably all my ammunition, which should be enough for the whole mission. Actually, you as a sniper, I believe that you don't need more. You don't need to carry a bottle of ammunition and so on, because the whole Milsim event, most probably we were able, in an action, not when we were zeroing out our scope and so on, we only shot maximum of 5-6 BBs. That was the whole thing. Of course, we are inexperienced, we had, less information, we were not engaged that much, we didn't have the right recon, we didn't have the right positions all the time, so we were out in the game very early. Our fault most probably, but if I think further, you still wouldn't need that much of ammunition. If you are patient, which is a very big word for Milsim, you really need to be patient. I think the amount of 6-7 magazines with full of speed loader, small speed loader, which can fill up, let's say, 3 more additional magazines. 10 magazines of sniper rifles is most probably more than enough for one single mission, I think. But let's see. Food and drinks. Since the missions are between 4-5 hours and then the long ones are 7-8 hours, honestly, a small sandwich or a Snickers bar would be enough. I wouldn't carry even maybe a sandwich with me. Before the mission, you can eat. You can go to the toilet, and that should be it. You don't need to carry throughout the mission at all, I don't know, toilet paper and sandwiches and so on. You don't need that. Water should be there, and the amount of the water should be also calculated. Again, in the first mission I had a 2.5 liters of a tank, which was insanely adding weight to my bag. I most probably need maybe maximum of 1 liter, so I could have saved from the weight a lot, and also the space that I'm carrying, like I had a huge bag and so on. So my suggestion to myself for the next games is prepare before the mission and then during the mission you just need to have something like a Snickers bar and a bit of water. That is going to be enough. This also would definitely change in a summer day. If it's too hot, most probably you would need more water. This needs to be well thought, but again, carrying less is better than anything else, I think. This is the lesson that I had until now. Another lesson that I took with me is that do not play with the camera too much, and definitely turn off these blinking lights and the beep sound. I most probably annoyed many people. That was my fault. I didn't think it through from the beginning. At the beginning of the mission, I wanted to have some nice recordings, but again, you're there not to have a recording, but more to play. And my suggestion is to try to have a proper setup at home, and don't try to create things, don't try to play with the camera too much, don't try to change the angles and try to take different shots and so on. Enjoy the game more than the recording or the, trying to think about the camera and the angles and so on. Try to think about your position, your enemy, get the recon, be engaged with the team, and enjoy the action of 15 minutes, because that's why you are there. And if you only want to record, just then leave the game. So go there as a press, or go there with the team as a cameraman, and have some nice footage that you don't have to carry much. So some special points for the night games, which was the biggest experience I had. Again, we walked so much in complete darkness without any light, and we were using the Part ND07S for the first time, so we didn't have the right setup. We had the scope set up, but of course when you're walking you cannot basically walk all the time like this, looking at the scope, which is magnified, and walk and see your place. So you can take it out and you can walk with your hand like this. But again, I think the night game setup has to be different. Maybe with a helmet that has a quick release of the part, so when you're walking you have the part already always in front of your eye and you can walk safely. What can help you is the flashlights that has these red LEDs in front of them, and having them on your head or even in your hand, like really walking, like turning the red light quickly to just see what's in front of you and then turn off, because the platoon leaders and the team leaders are not allowing any single light not to give away your position to the enemy. But again, sometimes they are lifesavers. For an example, we were walking along a street for, I don't know, 2 kilometers before we started climbing up the hills and so on, and sometimes there are cars coming. And when you see a car, you don't know if it's an enemy car, if it's your own team car, or it's a civilian car. What you gotta do is that you need to jump out of the road and get cover. And honestly, it's dangerous during the night. You don't see anything, and there might be very steep hills, or there might be... We had a guy in our team who unfortunately fell and hit his head. Nothing happened to him, so that's a very good thing, but we had to have a break, we had to call a cab, some people had to stay with him to help him, and he was actually taken to the base. Next morning we talked to him, he was all okay, but it is dangerous. Which comes back to another point where, as a sniper, we had our ghillie hats and so on, but during the night games, especially during the night games that you don't see anything, you basically need to wear a helmet. Safety is more important than anything else. So helmet might be a lifesaver. This is just a game. Remember, it's not about, like, during the night you don't need the leaves and so on. Nobody sees you also. I mean, if they don't have the night vision and so on, and if they have a thermal vision, so the leaves are not helping. So a helmet, a very big point for me. A helmet is a lifesaver in the night games. We talked about the flashlights. Again, remember that there will be a rule of no turning on the lights and so on. And in the action, some people think that, or we were also advised that that might help from our platoon leader actually before even going to the mills, that the tracers and laser might help. What I saw, really my own experience with the snipers, there's no point of them, but with the AEGs also, if you have a tracer, you basically just give away your own position, because what you need is to see the enemy. And tracer or a laser does not show you the enemy in complete darkness. So a night vision or a thermal camera is a must-have, or else you basically shoot blanks, and moreover with a laser and a tracer you give away your position. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. It looks extremely nice. When we were hit, we were able to observe our surrounding and everything. And the people who are actually shooting with tracers, it looks so cool with the laser shots like in Star Wars. But again, basically, whenever you shoot with a tracer, the enemy teams just sees that and basically shoot back wherever you are. So from my perspective, a night vision is a very big helper, or else I don't think going to a night mission makes any sense. Knowing your location is very important. Knowing your area is very important during the day games or daily games or in the morning, but in the evening you have no idea where you are. Really, you just basically lose your orientation in the first 10 minutes due to the complete darkness. So we had a personalized system which didn't work, and we asked our more experienced players. They said like, sorry, it's not going to help you. So we had our tablet with us in the bag, which is also another rate to check our location and so on. What I would like to suggest is go early, try to walk around the areas, the mission areas and so on, get to know your area well, be engaged with the team, get more information, try to have a way of orientation. But the best thing you can do is take your phone with you, pin your location in the camp, pin your locations throughout, the strategic locations that might help you throughout the walk maybe, and honestly on the way you're back, or if you're shot, or if you have to leave early, or if there is an injury, whatever, if you are alone and if you need to go back, you basically need this. I am not a professional tracker, I don't have that much of military experience. You guys need to have something that helps you to get you back to your base. And Google Maps, if it works, we were lucky, we checked all along the way, it was working. Pinned location will help you. You turn on the flashlight on your way back. However you're going to walk back, you just basically follow the directions on the Google Maps. These are my experiences on the first games that I take with me. My expectations were too high for action. Like I wanted to shoot, I wanted to record very nice videos and so on. Especially on your first Milsim, you're going to be most probably shocked. It's not like that. Now I know what to expect in the second one. I think I will be able to enjoy more. This was more surprise and more experience getting the Operation Kandahar III. In the next one, I will have a better setup. I am 100% sure that I am going to do more to enjoy the action of these 15 minutes to half an hour during the missions, rather than anything else. Let me know if you have more experience, or if you also attended the first Milsim, about your own experience, and also if you're a more experienced player, about your advice down in the links below. I will definitely take it with me, and the people who are watching this might definitely also use them. That would be very helpful. I hope you enjoyed this wrap-up. Again, this was not a guide, this is only a lessons learned for myself that I wanted to share with you all. I hope you enjoy your Milsims. Have nice shooting, have nice missions, and we will see each other most probably in another series with not playing with the camera that much in my next Milsims. So until then, take care, bye bye.